know what? Candyland sucks.
Tell me how you really feel, Steve.
I don't know. Like, it's not a good game.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as board games go,
It doesn't have dice.
it doesn't have dice. It has cards.
Now, I gotta say that not having dice is not the death knell, but not having dice is a major strike. It's almost a strike and a half.
But the thing is about Candyland is there's like you're in a competition with other players, and that's
Yes.
and that's the only extent of the competition that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's all chance, and your competition begins and ends at the fact that who's luckiest.
Who's luckiest? If you end up with one of the special candy cards, you are.
There's a special candy card?
I feel like aren't there like special. Hold on.
Did they change the rules? Stop being a freaking Foley
Oh,
artist.
he said it. That's a great. Hey, if you've only been listening for a few episodes, folks, I used to get called a Foley artist a whole lot, and I haven't as much. Yeah, like these. There's, all right. Yeah, I don't know. This one I think you would describe as
a chocolate,
a piece of poop with some jizz on it.
Is that like
chocolate?
The things on Captain Kuro's jacket.
There's a cupcake, and there's one really special one in here. I don't know. I know that my cousin's kids. I feel it was my cousin's kids. Have there's a gingerbread man.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, my phone is going off. That's
you're
wonderful.
ringing.
I'm ringing and.
Let's pick it up. Answer it.
Nope.
Who was it?
It's probably work.
We should have been like, "Hey, it's me, Chris. I'm doing a podcast. You're on the air. You're live on the air doing the podcast.
Live on the air with Horribly Off Topic, episode number 60 with Chris and Steve.
Hey, we're live. You got it in there.
I snuck it in there.
Oh, I just kicked the freaking microphone.
All right. So yeah, no. There's. I think I just found it. I think the gingerbread man might be the guy. And now that I think I don't. Oh no, there's the board. Yeah, because if we take out the board.
So basically, you draw a card, and basically where you are on the map, you move to the next, like, spot of that color.
Yeah. Well, see, yeah, if you end up with Chocolate Mountain, you can end up at Chocolate Mountain, which is very near the end, just by drawing that piece of chocolate.
So basically, if you get that, you win. So basically, that should be taken out of the damn deck.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I misunderstand how you play the game, because maybe you can... I mean, if you happened to then draw the gingerbread man, you would go way back, but...
Way back.
Way back!
It's gone!
It's gone! David Ortiz hits his 7,000th home run.
It was only 500.
Big Papi.
The large man himself.
Yeah.
In a season where the Red Sox blew a big old pile of ass.
There's a guy, I've mentioned him before, John Gruber, who runs Daring Fireball. And it's been interesting to watch him. He's a Yankees fan, as I think I've said before. And he's been rooting for the Sox. And I haven't been paying attention, but I gather that's because... if the Sox were playing the Blue Jays and the Sox won, that meant the Yankees stood a better chance of going up.
I don't even know. Like there were times when like the opposite situation was happening. Where, where we were like teetering on first place or whatever, and the Yankees were the team that could help us.
Right, and we rooted for them.
I didn't. It's weird. Like, I'd rather see the
I am the same way. I would rather see Peyton Manning lose than help us any day of the week. And the Colts. You know what? I still hate the Colts, even though Peyton Manning isn't there anymore.
Well, I mean, Jim Irsay.
Jim Irsay. We'll get to that. We got more.
We have a new segment on the show.
We do have a new segment.
We'll reveal it later.
Yeah. So Candyland sucks. We are in agreement there. We were
playing a little Operation before the show.
We were playing a little Operation, and that might make it into something later on. Maybe we even recorded that. We'll see.
Who knows?
Who knows? It's not like we've ever.
You never heard those before.
We've never done that before. Operation. So where do you stand on Operation? Is Operation better than?
It's definitely more gimmicky, and it requires skill.
Yes.
See, it's like on the box it says Operation Skill Game.
That's true.
Where you're the doctor, and they use the right "you're," which would have been hilarious if they didn't.
The Candyland is the Delicious Race to the Castle game.
But the thing is, you don't get candy at the end of it.
Yeah, no, you don't. That's the really...
So there's nothing delicious about it. And it's not like the schnozberries taste like schnozberries or anything. You can lick the board game.
You could lick it.
It wouldn't taste good, though.
No, you don't know where that board game has been. I mean, it's a children's board. It's like a young children's board game.
That's creepy. That's like some Jared shit right there.
I'm not trying to go like the Jared. I'm not trying to Fogel it there.
Is that what the expression is now?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we overuse the word fondle, so we're gonna say Fogel.
Just change it to Fogel.
We're gonna Fogel it. I Fogeled the balls lovingly.
It says right here on the box. It says skill game. So it requires you to actually be skilled at taking the pieces out of this man that needs operations.
Yes.
And they added brain freeze. I don't remember that one.
I don't remember a lot. I remember the funny bone, I think, because of Lost, which, as I think I mentioned, I'm rewatching at the gym.
Yeah, why not watch some... No, we already went over this last week.
But I'm... I got some follow up on that, maybe.
Okay.
But I don't want another whole episode degrading into like what I'm watching and not watching. Anyway, I remember the funny bone because John Locke makes a joke about the funny bone always being what got him in operation, and it's while he's holding a stick of dynamite and somebody has just blown up, and he says, "Funny bone always got me." He takes out the piece of dynamite, and Jack is sitting there all tense, and John goes bzzz, and Jack looks like he's gonna
kill him.
Well, yeah.
Murder.
And
then Clue. They have like, I don't remember, writer's cramp.
Writer's cramp?
It's a pencil apparently on his
wrist.
Interesting. And they have the broken heart, which I do remember. Mm-hmm. And at least this guy. Wait, hold on.
Was he missing his broken heart?
No, I was gonna say, at least he didn't have a lonely heart, but. Oh. They say that a lonely heart is much better than the owner of a broken heart.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Says the pop, yes.
Yes. Says the pop, yes. Not the pop band, yes, but the pop, yes.
The band, yes, when they were doing their pop stuff in the 80s.
Okay, got it. Enough said. Oh. That's pretty good.
There was almost actual shit on the microphone there.
Oh, shit, as opposed to vomit.
No.
Oh, you mean shit and like the
stuff.
The
shit is in stuff, not like feces. I didn't magically turn around and almost shit on the microphone.
Poop onto the mic. Yeah. You mentioned murder, so I gotta ask. I gotta ask Clue. Where do you stand on Clue?
I was never one to play Clue.
I have been dying to play Clue. You know, I was in the store this summer and I saw that my older daughter is old enough now to play Clue according to their prescriptions, and I thought, oh, that'd be a fun one to play, but nobody else has been getting.
The trick is like I don't think I ever really played it, and I think it was because I think my parents tried to introduce it to me when I was too young, and I didn't understand what I needed to do,
right,
and so I didn't like it.
Yeah. And we've talked, complexity-wise, we've talked about Risk. I mean, that's another one where if you introduce Risk too early, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I got like exposed to Risk when I was in middle school, and I think that's the right time for Risk.
Yep.
Because then you're angsty, and I'm like, I want to dominate the world.
I want to take over Camel Crap.
Fuck the world.
Which is, if you're not familiar, if you don't know Clark lore.
If you're racist.
No, Camel Crap is Kamchatka.
That's in Asia.
I know, but my dad and I think other members of the family, when we would play it, they called it camel crap.
Well, in my extensive,
I don't know where it came from.
Watching of Seinfeld episodes, I was watching recently the one where Kramer and Newman were playing Risk in Jerry's apartment because they needed a neutral territory. I
need to watch this episode. This might be my entrance into Seinfeld.
You're
selling me.
It's a really good one, and then I'm giving away the punchline.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't believe in spoilers.
So they're in Jerry's apartment, and then Jerry gets fed up and tells him to get out of there.
Yeah.
So they end up like playing it on the subway, and like Kramer's about to win, and like he's like attacking the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And like Newman is like, oh no, and then and Kramer's like, you know what, the Ukraine is weak, and I'm going to take the Ukraine from you. And then some guy that's on the subway near them, he's like, I am from Ukraine, and he flips the board
over. There was some debate amongst my family. I'm not going to mention the specific name, but my grandmother's maiden name on my dad's side, her maiden name's not important, but her ancestry is, we always thought Polish. But I guess it turned out my dad's cousin was speaking with someone, and that person told him that the last name is actually from the Ukraine. So there's some debate in the family about whether or not we're actually of Ukrainian descent instead of Polish descent. But that whole area of Eastern Europe, that the borders changed so often. So I don't know. I will not make fun of the Ukraine. I'd probably I don't know if I would go so far as to flip over someone's risk board on the subway. I think I have some respect for the game.
But if you were a first generation Ukrainian in New York City on the train, and someone is saying that Ukraine is weak right next to you, wouldn't you be a little bit
I would
perturbed?
be a little offended, but I have respect for the game. I have respect
for the game of Risk. Well, he's never seen Risk before.
Yeah.
Well, like the thing is, like, no one's ever made a Polish joke before, so
no. I mean, Polish jokes are like screen doors and submarines. They don't exist. Connect Four. I'm just gonna run. No, let's stop. We got
that requires skill.
Connect
I'm all right with Connect Four.
I'm down with Connect Four. This version, the version that's sitting here in the room right now, is SpongeBob SquarePants Connect Four, and I am in general not down with the themed versions of the board games. I get why they do it. They need to make money. Everybody already owns the like vanilla versions of these games,
like Star Wars Opoly.
Yeah, like so.
Well, that's how Monopoly keeps it. Like
that's how they keep
making money. Because like no one wants the regular Monopoly.
No, they all want it. But
Who wants to be a millionaire?
See, the thing is that I want a regular. If I'm gonna play Clue with my kids, I want the original version of Clue. Maybe Clue Master Detective. Shout out to Clue Master Detective. We had that one around the house.
Did they listen?
Yeah. Anyway, so I would like the original versions. Now, the Connect 4 SpongeBob version, you can play it normally, but it also has two plastic SpongeBob faces that I've never quite figured out what you're supposed to do. I think you can put them somewhere on the board to therefore block off part of the board.
No, I think no. What you want to do?
Stupid.
What you want to do is you want to swallow them and then look for them in your feces.
Took a lot of effort there to
not spit your soda everywhere.
Spit my soda everywhere, including on the microphone. I just picked up the list. I was gonna cross something off, and I realized that
we haven't talked about
13 minutes in, we haven't talked about anything that's on our list.
That's usually what happens, dude, because blah, 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 off topic.
But that's okay. Horribly off topic. It's okay because... the fact of having a list and trying to stick rigidly to it, I think, is the downfall of some podcasts. Is you can tell that they're just trying to like rattle off the things and not let the conversation go where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we just started in a way, and it just had happened, and then we flowed from board game to board game.
Yeah. Well, so I mentioned some. So here's a ham-fisted transition, but I
like ham-handed.
Ham-handed more than ham-fisted.
Yeah, ham-fisted seems like you're getting it like someone holding a ham shoved up your ass.
I can't remember if you Jake, French, Spanish,
French.
French. Okay. So I was walking out of the bathroom at work today.
Pourquoi?
And I was reading the something about washing and drying your hands. And
was it in French too?
Well, it was in French, and then it was in Spanish, and I noticed that it said manos,
hands of fate.
Yeah. And it suddenly clicked for me that that's what mano y mano meant. That hand and hand, or mano a mano, right? I don't know.
Hand to hand.
Hand to hand. I don't know if I'm getting the translation wrong, but I was like, wow, I learned something in Spanish, and in bad TV shows or where people say, I must fight you mano a mano.
Hand to hand.
So I mentioned the SpongeBob thing, and I mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of
SpongeBob.
Not of SpongeBob, but of the board game companies trying to repackage with themes and whatnot. We touched on this last time, and I sounded like a jackass saying that I hated all ads.
No, you hate everything.
I do hate everything.
You're just like a hipster.
But one of the I'm not.
Out of the two of us, I think
I'm closer to being a hipster.
No.
So we touched on iOS 9, the latest version of the Apple operating system last time, and I think we talked about ads, but we didn't talk about one of the core features of iOS 9 is the ability to buy a content blocker. You can now get apps that block certain content, and this has set off a kind of war on the internet between websites that rely on advertising and people who want a better experience on their phones. For years, you've been able to get ad blockers on your browser, on your computer, but your phone, there was no way, at least on your Apple phone, there wasn't a way, at least easily, to block ads on it. And so now that iOS 9 is out, you get all sorts of things that will block ads for you, and the people who rely on ads for their income are kind of up in arms. Some of them. Whereas, I wanted to sort of say that I'm not totally against ads. Reading these articles over the week made me really think about it, and I wanted to get your take. That there's a difference between an ad on a podcast or an ad that is sort of in line on a website where they're just sort of like they have a post and another post, and they say, well, here's this week our sponsor is such and such. There's a difference between that and then the ad that comes up on your phone that completely blocks the New York Times article about ad blockers. So, like, that was the thing. I think it was New York Times and maybe Bloomberg both ran our articles on this new feature. And people took screenshots of the fact that the ads on their site were so bad that you could not read the article about ad blockers.
So they're a little bit too intrusive is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a difference.
I don't mind there being one there. Sometimes it's actually, like, if it's a banner ad on a website or whatever, like, sometimes it'll actually be something that sparks my interest.
Right.
If you throw it into my face and say, click on this or die or whatever, you're going to make me not want to do business with you.
And the thing is that it's much... the stuff that works on the desktop, right, becomes really aggravating on the phone. So if I got something on my desktop, even though I still hate the ads that pop up and take over the entire screen, I usually have the precision of a mouse pointer to go up and find that X and click on it. But if I get the same thing on my phone and it takes up the entire phone, sometimes that X is so tiny, I'm trying to get it with my big fat finger.
It's tricky. You should have got the plus so you had a bigger phone.
I guess so.
So,
I mean, where do you stand on ads on your phone or on stuff that you look at online? I mean, we've talked about. We've probably talked.
Usually, like like if I'm on a website, the ads that are on that website are like in line with what the sort of information. Like it's like here it is. We didn't do it last week.
Yeah.
But the One Piece podcast.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. I got my drink.
They have an advertiser. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to give them a free advertising. But like they sell like the figurines. Remember the one that we talked about with giant boobs, Nami with the weird expression on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they have that, which is directly in relation to what you're doing, to their show, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So if like I'm in like I don't really need a giant busty Nami figurine, but if I wanted like the Frankie figurine, which would be awesome because he's like a giant robot and like he has like all these things coming up, like he's like a transformer. And he has all this shit coming. Like I would want that, but it's like $300. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
But I'm like, I checked. I've clicked on the link. I've gone to the site. I've looked at what they have, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it's way too expensive. But like
but at least it's relevant to you.
Yes, it's relevant because I like the show. I like the stuff, and there's like some cool things.
But very often, especially the stuff on the news sites, I feel like the bigger the site, the more they're relying on just some warehouse full of ads that may or may not have anything to do with what is going on.
I get tampon ads all the
time. With what is going on
so
the page.
So I can jam it in my pussy.
All right. So I mean, the thing that I wonder about is, do you think? Because this really, I think, is part of where the debate between Apple users, right, where Apple is a company that values privacy. They do a ton of stuff that is on your, all the stuff that they do to might customize something is usually on your phone and not up in the cloud, versus Google, who does all their stuff up on the web and collects all this data about you. I feel like this is a primary point of contention.
The thing is, like, no matter what you do, you're going to have data collected on you. Like,
sure.
If you use a credit card at any store, they're like, oh.
Well, and that's part of Apple Pay, and part of why Apple Pay's been slow to be adopted some places is because you can't track it. You can't track because it's a new credit card number every single time it gets used. My point was, where do you fall on the sort of like, would you rather have some data collected about you to give you better, more targeted ads, or would you rather not have any data collected about you?
I prefer to not have any data collected on me, but it's like at this point in our lives, it's very hard not to.
Yeah.
The only way you could basically not have it collected on you is if you don't go online ever.
Right.
And then... when you buy something in a store, you pay with cash.
Right. Yeah. I like, in theory, like, you remember Google AdSense, like you would go on a website. This is more, you don't see them that much anymore, but they were like late 90s, early 2000s, and you would see like the block of like 3 or 4 different text ads over in the side or maybe at the bottom, and they would all be relevant to whatever you were reading. So, like, I liked that as a concept. I don't know, because
so you
people
could learn
started...
more about thick dongs.
Only if you were on a web page about thick dongs. But that concept worked for me. It didn't work.
The concept of thick dongs. Sorry.
Anyway,
just derailing you.
No, that's okay. I mean, so I thought it was really interesting that this has become a thing, and I think people are going to have to reckon with the fact that if they don't want customers to go out there and readers to go out there and buy ad blockers, they should make the experience of visiting their website not hostile to the reader. Like,
have ads on. Like, I mean, it's part of it's par for the course. It's something that's going to happen. Right. Have ads on your site. Have them be reasonably sized.
Yeah.
Like that they are visible,
right?
But also have them not be intrusive, so someone isn't annoyed by it and therefore turned off by your product.
Well, and that's always been the issue with Hulu Plus for me, right? Was that Hulu was free, right? Just watching Hulu was free. Hulu Plus meant that you paid something, you still had to watch ads, and that feels like a hostile. A hostile to the user's experience.
See,
because if you're paying for it, why are you still watching ads? I thought the idea was you pay for it, ads are gone.
Well, the thing is,
what are you paying for if not to get rid of the ads?
If you want to watch things on a streaming service, like if you want to watch it on your PlayStation or your Roku box or whatever the hell you have, you have to get Hulu Plus.
Right.
I think that's why people are buying Hulu Plus.
Yeah.
Which is why I did.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't want to have to hook up my computer
Okay, so
to my television to watch Hulu on it, because I like to actually do things on my computer sometimes while I'm watching TV.
But what are you paying for Hulu? I mean, the privilege of being able to use it on your PlayStation. It's not like your PlayStation is in some regards a more powerful computer than your computer. Like your PlayStation is not a slouch of a computer. It doesn't take them that much work to create an interface for you to watch stuff. So what are you paying for if not to get rid of the ads?
That was the thing is, like, the amount of ads that I'm watching on a Hulu show or whatever are not they're not even close to as much
as you'd watch if it were broadcast.
Yeah, if it was a broadcast television show, like I think they would probably have, like, because like I forget what the number is now. I think it's probably like 23 minutes for a show, for a 30-minute show, and like I think 42 for an hour-long program. I think, like, because like I have been watching a bunch of Seinfeld on Hulu,
right? And
I don't think it's an entire half an hour if I'm watching from start to finish of an episode.
Yeah.
So like there's the first ad break that they like have in a Seinfeld episode isn't there.
Right.
Like it goes straight from the title card.
That's pretty
like,
good.
You know, at the earlier episodes it would be Jerry doing stand up, and then it would go to like the first scene of the episode, and that's gone. The first ad break's gone. It just goes right into the episode, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then, like, you know, I think there's 2 other ad breaks, and you usually get 1 or 2 ads for that, and they're both about 30 seconds long, so a minute each time. I'm not. It's not taking too much out of my day. Sometimes they show the same damn ad over and over again.
Yeah, that's aggravating.
Which you know, that gives me I think
that makes me not want to buy it.
Well, then don't. Jesus.
Right. Well, go ahead. So, what's your reaction when you see the same ad?
I don't it doesn't change my opinion on whatever it is that they're trying to sell me.
Because the last time I tried to watch anything on Hulu, I was watching with Stephanie, and I think it was something we were watching with the girls, and they played the same anti-smoking PSA at every ad break. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't play that because it was powerful, but I was trying to watch something with my kids, and it's graphic and really disturbing, gross, and
it's not something that you would show on like Nickelodeon or anything like that.
No,
so it's just like,
I think it's a valuable ad. I absolutely think it should be shown, but like to show it to me every single time, it was sort of like I think we got to the point where we took the kids out of the room and then brought them back in and I don't know what it was we were watching, but I don't know.
I don't think they probably show. Well, the thing is, like, I've been watching things on Crunchyroll, and I don't pay for that, but I can watch for free if I watch with ads.
Right.
And like it's weird because I don't think they're getting enough of like people actually buying ad revenue. So a lot of the ads that they're showing are PSAs. Like the ones on Hulu are typically ads for like real like products, and not that PSAs are bad or anything, but like I'll get like 4 PSAs in a row, and I'm like, okay, so many great things that I'm like, Jackie Chan, I'm not gonna kill a rhino or buy a rhino horn, I swear. I don't have that. I don't have any problems with my dick. Like I don't need rhino horn.
So I got a question. It might be too personal. You can not answer.
I just said I don't have problems with my
dick. So, well, kind of putting you alluded to it last week. You moved, right?
Yes, we're recording on a Monday, which is why the show is going to be late for all you hardcores.
Yeah. So you're moving in with your girlfriend.
Yes.
Yes. So did you each of you have separate Netflix, Hulu subscriptions, and are you?
Well, we haven't cleared all the clutter out yet as far as like that yet. I think we both have a Netflix.
Yeah.
And I have the Hulu and she has Amazon, so we'll be
that's
good.
Pretty good. So
we'll have all of the above.
Just thinking about that though, so that would be something Netflix has not done, not taken into account, right? Right now we have a Netflix, and we have 5 user profiles, one for Stephanie and I, one for each of the girls, and then I created one for the family. because just for my parents and for when we're watching things downstairs with everybody.
You're watching like on the Wii or whatever? Or?
We're watching on an Apple TV, but
okay.
Yeah. But something that they haven't considered is the situation that you're in, which is that, like, I'm sure that Becky has whether it's favorites or like a history with Netflix, and you have a history with Netflix. You know, like, you could get rid of one of your accounts and save yourself
I don't think she has
money.
As much of a history than I do. So I think she's not even close to being like
right. So it wouldn't be
reluctant to get rid of her.
It wouldn't be as big an issue. But you can imagine a scenario in which like two people decided to move and they decided to cut down to one Netflix subscription, but there's no way to take all the stuff that all your history from one Netflix account, as far as I know, and bring it over to another. They need to do that. They get charged some money for it.
Yeah. Charge me $2 to bring that stuff over to Netflix.
Bring that stuff on over.
There's some extra cash for you, dipshits.
So what other what's moving been like, and what other kinds of fun stuff?
It was actually not bad. Like, well, because as we talked about last year when I moved, I don't have a tremendous amount of stuff.
Yeah.
And you helped me last year, so
I did not help you this year. We'll get into that, maybe.
Yeah, we will. But that was fine. We still had a relatively smooth move, despite the fact that
I didn't help, because I'm the one that makes everything smooth.
No, I think almost every single, except for the one where my former roommate and I moved from one place in Hudson to another place in Hudson.
Yeah.
Almost except for that move, every other move I've had has been pretty smooth.
Okay.
But your brother helped me, and your father helped me without.
Right. Yeah.
And that was just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. It's a transition.
Yeah. So like it was pretty good. Like we went last Friday to sign the lease, and I had completely forgot that I had been told that we were getting the couch that day too.
Oh.
So like her parents had shown up and they were with the couch, and I'm like, oh, that's great. So we got the chair up. It was a couch and a chair, which is almost like a love seat. It's an enormous chair.
Enormous chair, yeah.
Which I've declared as my chair. And when she goes away in a couple of weeks, I'm probably going to fall asleep in that chair.
In that chair, yeah.
And I'm gonna take. I have this little Red Sox pad that has like a little stickum on the back. I'm gonna stick that onto the fridge and put a check mark list of the amount of times I fall asleep in the chair while she's away. And see if it reaches more than the amount of days she's gone.
It could. I mean, I think my sister-in-law has a chair like that, like a big old chair that's big enough you could fall asleep in.
Yeah. I mean, the couch is pretty comfy too, but I'll probably end up on the chair.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it goes back to when we were little bitty babies. Little babies like to confined spaces, and they like to curl up in a chair. Like a couch you can spread out on.
Yeah.
Bed you can spread out. I actually think I sleep better when I fall asleep on like a couch or something than I do if I fall asleep in bed.
Well, the thing is, like, up until this point, because like I was living in a studio apartment.
Right. Yeah.
So the only place I could fall asleep was my bed.
Yeah.
Because the only chair I really had, or chairs, I had like the folding chairs.
Yeah, that
for
were
the card table that I had for my kitchen table. And I had.
Saying you couldn't fall asleep in one of those?
No. And then I had the other kind of folding chair, the one that you would bring to a tailgate, like that has the little cup holder or whatever. I had that one, and I couldn't imagine falling asleep in that either.
Unless you could fall asleep in that one if you propped your feet up on one of the folding chairs, and that would be real comfortable.
Yeah,
sure.
no.
Yeah,
I think I'd be more comfortable on the floor of my own place.
So this new chair is a novelty. It's a new experience.
Yes, it's great. Like I've never as I'm getting older, I've always because it's a television trope.
Yeah,
for the quote unquote man of the house, to have his chair.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like the moment that we got it up there and we were all like done putting all the couches in and all the cushions on them or whatever, I was just like, that's my chair.
What does she say about that?
She didn't have any. She's like, can you not sit in the chair and sit with me on the couch sometimes? And I'm like, Yeah, I think I can do that.
That's the right answer.
Yes, and I'm like, yeah, I think I can make that concession to not always sit in this chair.
But when you're not around, it's just me in the chair.
But like, it's like, what was it? Archie Bunker's chair is in friggin' the Smithsonian. Yeah. Like old crotchety man like me had his own chair. Now I feel
you're saying your chair's going to end up in the Smithsonian?
No.
Maybe
one of these chairs that we
maybe one of those. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you moved, got all the stuff in there.
Oh, but the couch, like we got the chair up, and the couch was not fitting in the elevator, and we were on the 4th floor. We're on the top floor.
Eesh.
Oh boy! So like we were there was the 4 of us trying to get it up. It was the folks and the 2 of us, and we were just like and I was just like in the back, and I'm like, I'm not helping at all.
Right.
Like all I'm doing is just like, probably my presence is annoying all of you. And so I was just like, I'm going to bring up the ottoman. I'm going to bring the cushions up. I'm going to get them in the place.
Right.
And then when you get up to the 4th floor, I'll open the door for you.
Yeah. You omitted. You did not tell me there was an ottoman.
There was an ottoman. But that's with the big chair.
I mean, a big chair in and of itself is pretty good. Big chair with an ottoman. I mean, like,
yeah, that's
some
how I'm
next
falling
level
asleep.
Shit right there.
That is like out like a light. I'm gonna get home. When I get home, like probably like 4:30 or something like that, and I'm just gonna be. She's gonna get home and be like, "Did you fall asleep in the chair again?" Archie.
So you got it.
I'll be more racist with that
chair. That's what it took.
I eat it.
That's what it took.
It's some sort of. I don't want to actually be
racist. So you got a new living room set, or did it?
It's yeah. So
it's it's
new to us.
Yeah, yes. You didn't have it, and it wasn't in her place before. No, so you guys both got like awesome new couch and chair.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do an IKEA trip, and that's gonna be rough. That place. Have you been there?
I have not been there. I've wanted to go, but
really,
see.
Do you want to come with us?
See,
maybe that'll be the buffer that prevents us from getting in a fight.
I have wanted to go.
You and Steph can come too.
Just in general, I think there was a point at which we thought about going for an office chair or something for the girls' room. What I'm currently in the market for, should I ever get paid, is I get paid once per month. I'm joking. I do get paid, but I don't get paid till the end of the month.
It's a pittance, though.
And don't say
that. He gets big bucks.
Anyway, so what I'm currently looking for possibly is some shelving for my closet for my comic book boxes, which are currently just stacked one on top of the other, which is not the best way to store your comic book boxes.
Yeah, they're probably all smushed by now.
They've been like this for years. So some of them in the boxes that were not as sturdy. They don't make the boxes like they used to. I know that sounds like an old man thing to say, but the boxes I got when I was a teenager and a 20-something are like.
Were they nice boxes?
What? I got great boxes when I was in my teens and my 20s. Let me tell you.
I got the tightest box you'd ever seen.
It was
Holds
nice.
my comics.
Holds my comics, if you know what I mean.
What am I? It's just like some guy from Jersey.
Anything else about what else about the move? Anything else to report?
We had some people help.
Not me.
I don't want to I don't know if they want to be mentioned on the show.
Yeah,
as help, but like the folks that did help.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, and it was really great.
I just didn't want to cut you off and move on to a different topic if you had more moving.
No,
stuff.
Because we did some actually because it's September. Because this is when I moved last year and I moved back to Massachusetts. This is the time of the year I have to get my inspection. So I did it I was gonna go to the dealer, and I'm actually gonna give a plug here. I went to the dealer that I would go to sometimes, and I get up like crazy in the morning, even on the weekends, and so it was I'm up. I might as well just go get my sticker today,
right?
Just to because it's the middle of the month, and it probably won't be as obscene.
This is last year or this year?
This year.
Oh, just now.
This past Saturday.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'll get the sticker this weekend. So before it's the end of September,
right.
And everybody's like, oh, my sticker.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just go to the dealership up the road, and like they open at 7, so I got there at about 1:15, and it was mobbed. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I was just like, I'm just like racking my brain, and like there was this, it's not old, but it was a place that I used to go with my old car. That was the thing that was old.
Yeah.
To get service all the time, because my car was shitty and old and was falling apart all the time.
Yeah.
And they would never screw me and whatever. Not in the fun sense or in the bad sense.
Right.
Which is good because I don't want to get fucked by a guy.
And not that that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I just don't want it.
You just don't want it. Yeah.
So we were what is this? The royal we? I am like. So it was over by my dad. It's R&P Automotive in Chelmsford, North Chelmsford. So I drove over there, and I popped in. It was a little bit after 7 when I got there, and they opened at 7.
Yeah.
So like I think there was another guy that was waiting on some other service, I think.
Yeah.
So I popped in, and I'm like, hey, can I get my sticker? He's like, registration and key. Here you go.
Yeah.
Seriously, did not take more than maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you. I'll give a plug. I think I hope I don't get it wrong. The Triangle Service Center here in Chelmsford, I think is where I went and got both my car and Stephanie's car inspected back in July or whenever it was.
Hey, you guys, if you're out there in the listener land and you go to these places that from our recommendations, tell them that.
Tell them that.
Tell them that I listened to this podcast called Horribly Off Topic,
and that's how I heard
went
about
to your service station because. I got glowing endorsements from these idiots on the radio.
they were great too. It's a similar situation where it was getting mobbed, but they fit me in there. They got me in and out, and it was great. Both cars in like 45 minutes or so. So and some of that time was me driving one car back here to the house and then driving the other car back over there. So that's pretty good. That can be such a pain, the whole RMV sticker experience.
Well, I mean,
luckily you didn't have to go RMV this time.
That's next year when I get I have to get my new registration and my license next year.
Yeah,
I think either that or I'm driving on an expired license. Let me just look. Because like in case there's any police. Listening, like he's driving on an expired license. Hold on.
The show.
2016. We're
2016. Good. You're good. You're good. So I wasn't helping you move.
No, why weren't you?
Because I was helping someone else move. My friend John, turns out, he how much do I want to say? He's moving.
He is.
Let's just say he's moving, and he had very little time in which to move, and so. He was pressed. He needed some help, and been friends with him since middle school, maybe since he was in middle school and I was in my first year of high school, something like that. Anyway, a long time.
John graduated the same year as me.
Yes, and so John needed some help moving, and he's moving out of the country. He's moving. I guess I could have said he's moving far away, but he's moving out of the country, and he needed.
He's going to
store material.
South Sudan.
Yes, he needed to store stuff rather than moving into. This is why it's relevant. He needed to store stuff rather than move to a new place. Have you ever had a storage unit?
No, I don't have enough stuff.
Okay, so storage.
Which is why my move was relatively
easy. Storage units are really... So the first time I was ever in a storage unit was way back in...
I hope to see, like some episodes of Storage Wars in the future where we open up John's storage thing because he forgot to pay the bill.
He forgot to pay the bill.
Or it's like Kurt Cobain's, like they had...
Oh, really? There was
a thing. I think they made a documentary recently.
Yeah. Where they opened his storage unit?
No, but like they made like a documentary off the things that they found in the storage unit.
So John had a storage unit that he'd been using, but that storage unit was pretty full. and he had gone to the place where he rented the storage unit and tried to get a bigger one so he could just have one, but they were all out.
So we had to get out of units.
Plumb out of units. So we had to start a second one, and I was helping him pack, and we used a U-Haul plus one of my cars, which is a Honda Element. Which, if you've never seen an Element, it's like a big box on wheels.
Donnie, you're out of your element, dude. The Chinaman is not the issue here. And dude, Chinaman is not the preferred nomenclature. Asian American, please.
I'm glad you got that out. I'm trying to find a way to make this funny. It's not working. The storage unit. So John had a 2-bedroom apartment, and he had a storage unit that was about the size of the room you and I are in now.
Oh,
now
it's not a big room.
Not a big room.
If your brother ever listens, it's your bedroom.
Yeah. The fitting stuff in there, and luckily another friend of his was kind of like must have been a Tetris master, because that other friend was able to fit a ton of stuff in there. But by the end of the night, we started because John's a late riser where you're an early riser, so we didn't start until about noon.
He doesn't get boners till later.
That's exactly what I meant. I am well acquainted with his boners and the time. So so we didn't start until like noon, 1 o'clock yesterday, and
that's when we were finishing up.
We didn't finish until around midnight.
That's terrible.
I am so tired today.
What time did you have to get up?
I had to get up. I should have gotten up earlier. I think I did get up at like 6 or 6:30. I had papers to grade, which I had put off grading because I'm no, not because I'm lazy, but I'd had a rough couple of days over the weekend, and then I thought, I'll do.
Were you like a dog that sat on sandpaper? What are you crossing off?
I'm crossing off the moving. I guess I don't have that much to say about it. But it was a very interesting experience because John has a lot of stuff. He's collected. He's hung on to a lot of stuff over the years, and he has a lot of stuff that means a lot to him. And so it's a really weird experience to try and I don't think he'd be uncomfortable with me saying, because I think we've talked about it on Generation Goat, our podcast. What's that? Yeah.
Is he a hoarder?
No, he's not a hoarder. But he's had to move. He's done some of his schoolwork over in England.
You gave it away. I gave it away. He's not going to South Sudan.
No, he's not going to South Sudan. He's had to move back and forth, and he's moved a whole bunch of times, so he's had to do this. And so a lot of stuff has ended up in storage, and it's just a really weird experience.
I hope they have moisture control. You don't want your things getting damp.
No. Yeah. So it was a very, very different experience when you've got a ton of stuff.
Robots shouldn't have intestines, but this one does, and they're falling out.
I don't know that.
Falling out.
I don't know that.
Robots with descended intestines. Robot with descended intestines. Yeah. There was this old internet cartoon, like back in the early days of internet cartoons.
Yeah.
Like pre-Homestar Runner, like in the 90s.
Yeah. That is old.
Yeah. So
and it was Robot with Intestines? Was that the name of it?
It was Robot with Descended Intestines. And he was in like the one cartoon that they had, he was renting a dirty movie at a video store, and it was called Chunky Asses or something like that. And then like some woman he knows in the neighborhood comes up and starts talking to him, and she gets all appalled that he's renting this dirty movie, and
not appalled by his descended intestines
or the fact that he was a robot with intestines falling out of his body. And there was also on that website, it was like the Skeletor job hunt. Because, like, you know, after he can't
get Grayskull, he's got to go.
After He-Man was canceled, they were like, he needed to find work, and he was working at like TCBY. And then like this guy was like, I would like Raspberry Fantasy.
and Skeletor was,
and he was like, Skeletor suggests Boysenberry Delight. But the other, and then like the guy's like, I would like raspberry fantasy.
Raspberry.
It's not there anymore. It sucks because like those were really funny.
Oh, so that's not going in the show notes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't put it in the show notes.
Find it
because it does not exist. What happened to my knuckle?
I don't know. All right, we got 2, possibly 4 topics left for
us to get horribly off.
One of them's not really. 2 of them are kind of not.
Well, we announced it. We need to do our.
Well, we do
bit.
have to do that one. I don't know if we want to do that one. The new segment last.
The new segment. Doing a new segment for the show. Yeah.
Do we want to do that one last, or do we want to do?
I don't know what the other ones are.
All right. So I'm gonna show Steve. There's this one. About
oh yeah,
we got that one.
Well, it'll probably be out. Let's do that one. Yeah.
All right. So hey Robin, what's in the news?
Wait, I'm Howard.
So there was a teenager in Texas this week. I
made some jokes during the lease signing on that.
Oh God. He was arrested for building a clock. And bringing it to school.
Because he was a Muslim and obviously a terrorist.
Was he Muslim for sure?
I thought so.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he was...
He was ethnic.
He was... he looked...
He didn't look like a white person.
He did not look like a white person.
So, therefore, he's a terrorist because he made a clock.
Yeah. Which apparently is... Bill Maher said something to that effect on his show this weekend. Something to the effect of, well, who are the ones who have, in terms of... I think he was defending racial profiling. Who are the ones who have, blown up tons of shit over the last however long? To which I would say to Bill Maher, who are the ones who have shown up and shot people up with guns in places?
Yes, there's a lot of terrible people in the world, and a lot of terrible people that use religion as their terrible platform.
And a lot of terrible people regardless of their skin color. So, like, that's my point. So, this kid, not a terrible person. This kid...
I've never met him, so I don't know.
If you watched any of the news footage of him?
No.
He is the goofiest, most adorable dork you have, like...
Do you want to just hug him, Chris?
You just want to hug him. Like, he's a goofy, adorable dork. He is... there's a kid, this kid, and I've forgotten his name, Ahmed, right? I think it's Ahmed. I did not write it down.
I haven't watched any of the damn news. I know about the story, and I made jokes about it without knowing anything about it.
I think it's Ahmed.
I think like on the lease signing, I promised I wouldn't build a clock.
Ahmed, there was a kid I think my year in high school. Ahmed is taller than this kid was, and Ahmed, I think, is only a freshman, and this kid was a senior. Also of Middle Eastern descent, I believe, the kid that I'm thinking of from high school.
One of the non-honkies.
And this kid from high school, also sort of like adorably goofy and maybe I shouldn't say adorable. When
he was adorable and ethnic.
He
had so many ethnicity in him.
When referring to height challenged people.
Because he was a little.
He was a little short.
Was he a little person?
No, he was not.
As Opie from Opie and Anthony referred to them as kickables.
He was not kickable. Anyway, so Ahmed, in his news conference afterwards, just like a very, all things considered, a pretty well-adjusted kid. He did get suspended for bringing a clock to school, but he was just sort of like, wow, I'm getting a lot of attention, like national attention. By the end of the day, but he'd been suspended, and news of it broke, I think, the day after. By the end of the day when the news broke, the president had invited him to the White House. Facebook, Twitter CEOs were asking him if he wanted to intern there. Pretty much every bastion of geek or nerd culture was out there saying,
like the president.
Hey, the president is also a big goofy guy with big ears.
Is he adorable? You want to give him a hug?
Adorable. I would love to give the president a hug. I can't get shot by the Secret Service for saying I want to give him a hug,
so.
Right?
Unless it's like a dirty hug. You grab his bum.
I wouldn't. Would you? You know what? I think Michelle could kick my ass. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she would totally deck you if you
Michelle
grabbed
saw
her
me
husband's
grabbing
ass.
Barack's ass, I think the First Lady would take care.
Yeah,
of
she might throw down.
I'm just thinking the First Lady could take me out.
And I don't know if you put hands on her, you might be in more trouble than you want to
put hands on her or on him.
On both.
On either one.
Like if you grabbed his ass.
If I grabbed
and then
his
she
ass.
tried to fight you, and then you were like, "Okay, let's go, bitch."
Yeah.
I think you'd be in the deepest shit you've ever been in your life.
I think so. I think that is one like I was trying to think of the WWE like what I know it's like a fatal 4-way. I don't know what a 3 like a
whoa
like
this took a turn.
No, but you know how like when they have like 3 people fighting each other, and that's one that I wouldn't want to be involved in. You know. Okay. I would not want to be in a threesome with Barack and Michelle Obama.
Well,
I don't think I could handle it. I'm just saying.
Too many dicks. One too many.
Okay, I was wondering where you're going with that. So I mean, it was. Whatever. We've said enough about it. We've said all that.
How did that happen?
We've said all that we can pretty much say, given what our show is about. I think it's disgusting and gross that the kid was suspended for basically building a clock that people thought was a bomb. But such is our country.
I mean, I do understand to a certain extent racial profiling. I do understand where Bill Maher is coming from, but it's still kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's a kid. It's a kid. And if you look at it, it doesn't look anything like a bomb. It doesn't really look anything like a clock either, but it doesn't look anything like a bomb.
Would it look like a penis?
It looks like Barack's
so it could
penis.
Be like
that's why I invited him to the White House. No, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Don't talk about the president's penis that way. No.
No.
I didn't say that. Don't blame this on me.
Yes, you did. You wrote it on the note. Steve said no.
Talk about the president's cock.
I think I hear the Secret Service knocking on the door.
I heard it's girthy.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, we can do it.
How did the Patriots cheat this week?
Oh, well, the Patriots played a game of football yesterday, and we won against the Buffalo Bills, despite people saying that the Patriots are cheaters and blah, 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 blah. But I went and did a little research, and and so they said, like you were saying before the show, that this was one of the most penalized games.
I was, as I said, I was moving all day yesterday during the game, so I was only seeing how it happened.
I didn't see the game either because I was moving and unpacking and birthday partying and blah, blah, blah.
I just on Twitter, and so I was watching, and I think it was, I'm going to say Jeff, because I don't know if his last name is public on Twitter.
Jeff!
But Jeff, somebody I went to high school with, I think he was the one that was tweeting it. It might have been someone else, saying we are approaching the record for most penalties in a game. And then eventually I saw somebody tweet that we surpassed the most.
But I don't think it was. I think it was
not the Patriots alone, but together.
I think the Bills got a lion's share of those penalties.
Yes, that's
so I think this week the way the Patriots cheated was they paid off the officials. So you heard it here first. The Patriots cheated again.
By paying off the officials.
Boo-da-boop-ba-da. Allegedly.
I'm going to take that bit. I'm going to put that up front. So we'll have me doing, no, I'm making too much work for myself. I know this is supposed to come out tonight. But if I'm feeling up to it, I'm going to take the ba-da-da-ba-ba-da, however you just did it. I'm just going to take that up front.
You're going to leave it in where it was before?
I'm going to leave it in where it was before. It's just going to be, that's going to be the part of the segment. It'll be that, that's how we know.
Next week what do we do when the Patriots have the Patriots?
When the
Patriots have a bye week.
I don't know. How did we'll still do it. I mean, there's...
they cheated this week because they cheated their fans from having a football game.
They also cheated. Tom Brady, probably too late to get into it.
Fuck that. No, don't even. Let's do the plugs and get out of here.
All right. So you can find the show notes for the episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/60. And you can find, and of course, if you have any comments about anything we've said today, or in previous weeks.
Hopefully the president saying it is girthy.
Maybe the president invites us to the White House.
These jackasses will be the second podcast.
Dear Chris and Steve, please, you want to come to the White House? You can send us, whether you're the president or not, you can send us email to hot@clarkwoods.com. And, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ECC1977.
And I'm at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser. If you like hearing tweets about the show, which I do every week, just basically a carbon copy of what Chris tweets. I should tweet more normal tweets. I need to get better at it.
That was another thing that was out. Maybe we'll talk about that. I have some interesting followers. Maybe we'll save that for next time. Okay. Because Steve was complaining he hasn't gotten a lot of followers.
Because I don't do normal tweets. I just plug the show.
Yeah, out of doing the show. Well, I wouldn't say that my 1,000 or so followers indicates that I have a lot of good followers. I also have a lot of not so good followers.
Doo-doo cookies.
Doo-doo cookies. That is a very good way of putting it.
Saying it.
Yeah. So
don't drive like my brother.
Or my what?
That was the way they used to end car talk.
God damn it. I'm gonna press it now. I really am.